I think it was my first project when I started MetaLab. Part of it was a requirement to do some JavaScript. And I didn't know anything about JavaScript, but I told them I could do it. And I very quickly went and found a friend of mine who knew it. And I negotiated an hourly rate with him. And suddenly I was able to sell JavaScript as a service. And I started adding it on as $5,000 or $10,000 per project. It wasn't pure profit. I had to pay someone, but I effectively didn't really do any of the work. And so that was my first experience of leverage. And then over time, that just kept increasing and increasing to the point where I almost fully delegated MetaLab to an executive and stepped away from it completely. And then finally to a CEO. There's a book called The E-Myth, which is about kind of the delegation barrier that people experience, where let's say they're really passionate about baking and they start a bakery, they might find themselves running into the back to bake bread and then running back up to the front to work the till and cleaning at night and really doing everything themselves. And that was where I found myself when I first started running the agency. Is I was doing almost everything. I was waking up in the morning, doing client phone calls and selling. In the afternoon, I was doing project management. I'd have a 1 hour dinner with my girlfriend, and then I'd stay up until 6 in the morning in Photoshop designing stuff. And that is kind of fun for about 6 months, but it's pretty brutal after a while. And so I read this book, The E-Myth, because I knew I needed to delegate more. And it said that at the end of the day, you have to build a process and you have to hire other people to do it. And I remember thinking, well, this is a creative business. We couldn't possibly have a process for this unique snowflake, which was obviously wrong. I think the hardest thing for entrepreneurs is to accept that someone else can do the job better than they can, or that maybe someone else won't necessarily do the job better than they can. They might only be 80% of what you could do, but that if you try to do 5 jobs at once, you're going to do a terrible job at everything.